Happy Sunday, y'all. Wow, that music was so relaxing. I feel like I almost fell asleep in the weather center. Good thing it was only a minute. Felt like I was at getting a massage or something. Oh my gosh, so relaxing. Um, Hi everybody. Hopefully you had a wonderful Saturday. I know it wasn't the best weather-wise. Of course, we had that severe storm warning and as well as the tornado warning move through in the morning. And then, of course, by the afternoon, we had that second round of storms. But hopefully you are feeling much better about today's forecast. Good morning, Joy. I hope you're having a great day so far. We have gorgeous conditions across the area today. In fact, check it out. Live pictures from Monroe, Dallas, Kannapolis. Everyone looks great. I'm really partial to the Kannapolis Cannonballers camera, of course, because the Cannonballers are back at home at 1 o'clock. That's first pitch. Satellite and radar, nice and clear. We do have a few clouds mixing in here and there throughout the afternoon, but hey there's that Cannonballers forecast. Lots of sunshine by lunchtime, 1 o'clock. Good morning, Tom. We'll eventually see high temperatures reach the upper 60s and lower 70s. Winds still coming in from the west and southwest at about 5 to 10 this afternoon. Will be breezy at times, but really more so we're kind of bringing in that warmer air before that second cold front rolls through the area today. I mentioned this on Wake Up Charlotte weekend, but we have a second but cold front, but this one's dry. So it's not bringing us rain. But when you see a few clouds this afternoon, that's likely the front moving through. And then once it does, that's when we turn it to the upper 60s tomorrow. Good morning, Stephanie. I hope you had a great Saturday and a great morning so far, too. So, really, the weather picture today looks fabulous. We have dry air in place. It is cooler officially than yesterday, but only by about 2 degrees. And of course, we have no rain, which you got to love that. But tonight we start to see some changes after that front moves through. So check out Banner Elk, Boone, Blowing Rock, up toward Jefferson, Fleetwood. We're back into the freezing temperature stage. I actually think higher elevations like Banner Elk, Sugar Mountain, Beach Mountain could even be a touch cooler than those numbers. So likely 32 at a maximum. Yeah, I said that wrong on air earlier. So 32 at a maximum for the mountains, but likely going to be cooler. Morganton, Lenore, upper 30s, lower 40s, but up toward the mountains of Burke and Caldwell counties, we could be a touch colder. And then elsewhere, pretty much south of the I-40 corridor, we're largely tracking the mid 40s for the Piedmont, of course, down toward the southern Piedmont and into the Sandhills, kind of more of the same. I would say about 45. Oh, Concord, that number is wrong. These obviously didn't update. I updated these a little bit ago. Someone had gone into my graphics and overridden some of the numbers. So pretty much everyone into the mid to upper 40. So apologies about that. I obviously didn't update that graphic before we started our stream. But pretty much tonight, if you're south of the I-40 corridor, everyone in the mid to upper 40s. So why do we have these colder temperatures? Well, I mentioned, of course, 2 cold fronts, right? So you can definitely decipher that. But there's 2 questions I feel like we get sometimes with this particular map. And the first is, first of all, why are the mountains in the northern foothills under this advisory, but the Piedmont's not? Well, easy answer to that question. We're not going to get to 36 or below, so we're not going to see frost here. Now, the second one is, how come these areas, so Boone, Jefferson, Ashwaubenon, Avery counties, and those northern parts of Burke and Caldwell, how come when the Piedmont was seeing some of these alerts a few weeks ago, when our growing season began, why they weren't seeing alerts even though they were just as cold? Well, the answer was in that second line. Our growing season in the Piedmont, so we're talking most of the Charlotte metro, typically begins around April 1st. Now, it typically begins in the mountains and northern foothills around April 15th. So what does this mean? When the growing season begins, the National Weather Service will start issuing freeze warnings, frost advisories, and freeze watches to give folks a heads up that they need to be able to protect, their plants, their crops, things like that. So before the growing season begins, it might get that cold, but they're not going to send out alerts. So in the Piedmont, because of the fact that we were so warm in winter, our growing season began almost a month in advance, which is why we saw all of those warnings throughout the month of March and early April, whereas officially just beginning about a week or so ago in the mountains and foothills around April 15th. So this is why we're going to start to, if there's another opportunity for temps to get that cold, you will likely see them coming up here for those areas where we didn't have them a little bit ago. Hopefully that answers that question, because I know it can get kind of confusing sometimes, especially because we cover such a large area. So what's changing then as we head through the next few days? Of course, I mentioned that we see some cooler air coming in behind this first front, and you see that there with the low on Monday morning. So front number 2 rolls through, we get cooler and drier. High pressure builds in for both Monday and into Tuesday, although we will still see some clouds around. I don't anticipate any rain, but that's all going to change as we get closer to Wednesday. So the Tuesday night and into Wednesday, we'll be tracking multiple storm systems moving across the deep south. And with a lot of cloud cover, a lot of rain, and a really strong trough of low pressure, that's going to keep us cooler than average, but also bring us a better chance of rain. And of course, with the lack of cloud or lack of sunshine, we're not going to see a lot of warmer temperatures, but that also will mean lesser instability. So I don't anticipate a lot of these days upcoming for this week to have storms. It's largely going to be a rain event. Now, Wednesday is the day that I think we're most likely to see kind of a hybrid cold air damming situation. That's when we see the wedge where we get cold air that's trapped on the east side of the mountains. So right now it looks like temperatures will struggle Wednesday to get out of the upper 50s and lower 60s. And then eventually we have two more series of a stalled front and a cold front coming in for Friday and into Saturday. The timing here, there's a little bit of a discrepancy. Our European model, which is one of the models that we use that's more accurate for long range forecasting, and our American model are a little bit different. So the American actually has most of the rain wrapping up by Sunday or Saturday morning, whereas the Euro kind of keeps things a little bit slower. So I'm kind of meeting in the middle right now, thinking Wednesday will be our wettest day, and then rain should clear out by Saturday afternoon and evening. And with these cooler temps and more opportunities for rain, you will likely notice one good thing, that the pollen levels for this upcoming week are going to be dropping just a bit. So we're still in the high category today, but we're dropping into the high to medium both Monday and Tuesday. And I do expect those levels even more so beyond Tuesday to actually go down. Wednesday, especially with a lot of rain, will likely wash some of that away. What happens when we get scattered storms is a lot of times with it's a scattered, storms, kind of those storms kind of shake up the pollen and sometimes can actually make it worse. But when you get a widespread kind of consistent rain, oftentimes that can help out. So here's your Guide Roofing 7-day forecast. Today, the best day of the week, mostly sunny, temps near 72, partly sunny tomorrow, while high near 60. We're in the upper 60s with more cloud cover on Tuesday for the first game of what is it, the U.S. Open Cup there for Charlotte FC. That's at Mecklenburg County Sportsplex. And then, of course, we have first game of the night back at home at Truist Field. I'm not 100% sure on the protocol for rain for those baseball games. I know with storms, of course, it's a little bit different because of thunder and lightning. But if you have tickets for this upcoming week, especially Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I would make sure you're keeping a close eye on the forecast, just in case there were to be any kind of weather delay there for the nice games. But otherwise, we do have to take a little bit of the cold air, right? A little bit of the rain to get some of those better days, as we head beyond into May and eventually into summer. And let's just remind ourselves, right, that when it is the dead of summer and it is so flippin' hot and the heat index is 110, and all those things, we will be begging for a day like today where it was mostly sunny, 72 with dry air. So get out and enjoy today. It is going to be absolutely fabulous. I hope you all have a safe day. And I'll be back at work on Wednesday working on another weather IQ. And then, of course, I'll see you on air sporadically throughout Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then, of course, next weekend too. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your Sunday.